You came from very modest to no means. You are a young man that started in diction. You got through that place. You started then learning that you had a mind that was pretty strong, and you were this giant within that was starting not just to be within, but you were starting to see that in the business world. You sold this company. You started having some wealth. How did you assimilate, when you talk about the fear of success, how did you start assimilating the love or fear of money when you started having some, even maybe more than you ever thought you might have? How did you assimilate that into recognize, relate, assimilate, and apply in the financial space, since you didn't come from money, but you created an opportunity to have some?
Well, that's a very good question. We don't really talk about money that much because it's considered a little bit taboo to talk about it. But let's face it, money is very important, especially if you don't have any. If you don't have any, it becomes the most important thing in the world.
Right.
And growing up without resources made me highly motivational. It motivated me in a big way to want to create financial security. So one of the ways I've dealt with it as I've moved up the food chain financially, Steve, is I give the credit to the big amigo. The big amigo is the infinite intelligence, what runs this universe. And I try to be the best version of Gerald Chamales I can be. And I have to do my part. Life is habit. And you have to build those solid habits. My foster mother, Lucille Crandall, told me when I was a little boy, just remember, Jerry, life is habit. And if you can take your negative habits, turn them into positive habits, and it's very easy to get off track with habits. So you have to be vigilant. You have to stay on your daily program of exercise, meditation, being of service, helping others, and get these into your wiring, into your DNA, and you'll be lifted up and achieve things that perhaps you never thought you could achieve. I mean, I really the credit to that infinite intelligence, and I, instead of saying I'm doing it, I'm doing my part. I'm doing the footwork. I'm learning every day. I'm keeping an open mind. I'm applying the success principles outlined in Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. I must discipline my mind to be positive. Yeah. It's very easy for me to go into melancholy, to go into darkness. That's because of, I think, my early life. It's always in the wings, ready to assert itself, Steve. So I'm very aggressive every day on programming my mind and staying in the solution and dealing with some of the hurt and trauma that I had as a child, because life is difficult. The first sentence in Peck's book, The Road Less Traveled, is life is difficult. It is difficult. It's challenging. It's hard. It's hard work. So I learned how to deal with money by affirming that I deserve to be successful. There's an infinite intelligence out there, and there's infinite prosperity. And I think to be poor is not something that we were meant to be. I think we were meant to be part of this wonderfully prosperous world that we live in. And so relating to money in a positive way is something that takes time and effort and footwork to inventory. If you have a negative attitude about money, you must obliterate that from your consciousness and learn to embrace prosperity, because prosperity is what I believe the big amigo, the infinite intelligence, wants for all his children.
So powerful. So powerful. The big amigo, whether you're calling that the big amigo, whether you call that universe, Mother Nature, God, Yahweh, just having that belief in something higher than yourself, as Jerry's talking about, is so key, because that universal intelligence is really what we're tapping into to be able to create these lives that we want through using some of these principles. And just like we get the concept that we have to use a Wi-Fi signal sometimes to get connected on our phones to data or to information, the biggest Wi-Fi signal is from what Jerry's talking about, our thought, our words, our actions, our deeds, and connecting to the source of where that's coming from in the first place, a collective consciousness in the universe. And so the big amigo, I believe, as Jerry does, that wants us to be abundant on this planet, not just in love, which is crucial and the most important asset, but also in money and wealth and opportunities to share that with others and make a difference. Hi, do you want to be more productive, more profitable, more on purpose? Do you want to build or grow your business? Do you want to make sure you're aligning with your purpose? Let's talk about that. Click on the link. We can have a free discovery call, and let's see if I can help you further on your own path of growing to more prosperity.